Good evening, everyone. We're about to hop into our third and final adventure of the evening. Maybe a bit of a strange one. I don't know if we've ever had a revenge match before here in the lands of DnDTime, but that is the place where that is the place where we find ourselves right now. But with me tonight, as always, we're not going to introduce our characters perhaps in the traditional way. So I'll start out, though, with you, Othgarurt, and ask you, what are you doing as you wake up this morning? What does the beginning of your day look like?
On this day, I begin with a simple sharpening of my weapon. It is good to keep them clean and to keep the edge bright.
Farzu, how do you start your day?
Just accidentally released a virus that is killing everybody, so I'm just gonna stay inside. Maybe have a cup of tea, nurse my cold.
Just practicing some social distancing?
Yes.
Understood. Elysia?
You should wash your hands.
How do you begin the day?
Just a quick breakfast. I need to be making my way down to Bartholomew's shop. I always got something for us.
And, of course, last but not least, Sunny.
Yeah. Hey.
How do you begin the day?
Oh, well, you know, the normal stuff, like you tend to your garden, take care of some people,
All right. Well,
yeah.
As you are tending to your garden, and as each of you are going about what you are going about, for in your case, Farzu and Elysia, you hear a light rapping at your door. For Sunny and Othgarurt, Bartholomew approaches you while you're at work, and you see Bartholomew coming up towards each of you. And we're going to kind of cut back and forth a little bit here, but speaking first to you, Sunny, he goes, good morning, Sunny. I hope I'm not bothering you too much.
No, not too much. What's up?
I have news.
No. I didn't do it, I promise.
No, it's... Listen, and he produces from his robes a golden coin. And as you look at it, it is familiar to you. It has, on one side, a 4-leaf clover, and on the other side, the face of an individual that you encountered around a year ago now. A face of a gnomish-like face, but with a kind of a big bushy red beard, a large top hat on top of it, smoking from a pipe, but embossed in pure gold here. You traded Bartholomew this coin for payment on a mission about a year ago, and he's showing it to you again now. And he goes, when you gave me this coin, we failed to acquire the treasures of the leprechaun that day. But I've been using this coin to try and track and figure out the next time a rainbow is going to appear. As you know, rainbows are, of course, a rare thing in the lands of DnDTime. They appear only during times of, a very specific instance. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I remember that.
We cut now back to Elysia, and he's looking at you, Elysia, and he goes, so, I've been using this coin to track when it's going to happen, and it's today. Are you ready to move, Elysia?
Yes, Bartholomew, I'm all ready.
I hope that in your, downtime you've been studying the habits, the abilities of the leprechaun, because today is the day we get that pot of gold.
You can count on me, Bartholomew.
And we smash cut over to Farzu at the breakfast table, and he goes, I know you're not feeling well, but every great heist needs... Oh my
fucking god, not the son of a bitch again.
Every great heist needs a plan, and if we're going to steal this gold, I need someone like you who knows theft. You have one of the fastest hands and the best sneaks in the business, Farzu.
Bartholomew.
I'm calling you in, Farzu, for one last job. And then other jobs, but one last job on this subject.
All right, he agrees.
And he kind of looks at you and he goes, very good. Well, we'll see how things go. And we cut now over to you, Othgarurt. And he goes, as you know, with these sort of things, preparation is key. I have put together around the area where I believe that the rainbow is going to appear this time. I've put together a somewhat of a temporary Bartholomew shop. We're putting the crew together there, and there we'll make our plan for how we're going to go about it this year. No going in half barrels. I underestimated. I knew that with the leprechaun that you'd be encountering was powerful, but I did not properly anticipate how powerful they would be. Are you prepared, Othgarurt?
I have been waiting for this day when he would dare to show his face again.
Yes, well, it seems that time is nigh. I don't know how much control he has over it. I know that he wouldn't want to put his gold up for risk like this without, well, for no reason. So, fortune favors the bold. So, our new, it appears to be that it's going to be happening around the slumbering spine. Mountainous terrain. It'll be maybe a bit harder to track him down than it was in the forest.
All right, are we all ready? Last time we weren't as prepared, since it was sort of a on-the-spot thing. We saw a chance and tried to take our opportunity to do it. But now...
this is you still at the breakfast table with Bartholomew. And Bartholomew kind of nods as you're saying that. You're right, of course, Farzu. We were not. But keep in mind that your enemy knows you as well. We will have to think even more deeply. The rainbow has not appeared yet. Are you ready to move out now?
All right. We all know the situation. Just get ready for when the time starts ticking down. This is our one shot before maybe the next time. Let's hope there won't be a next time, because I'm sick of doing this.
Rainbows End 3. Attack of the Clones? I don't know. And Bartholomew...
This guy really ticks me off.
Bartholomew kind of snaps his fingers and he goes, oh, wait. No, I need you to... he kind of stops himself before he does the usual transportation. I don't know what he's watching, but I think he has his eye on my magics. You might have to hoof it. I'm going to send you a little bit farther out, but and he kind of hands you over a map of where the he sends you over a map of where he's put up this like temporary shop for you guys to kind of re-meet and make your plan.
All right, let's sync watches.
And he syncs up your watch as he does with everybody, and he goes, "All right, I'm sending you to that teleportation circle now." And the four of you suddenly find yourselves transported to this kind of location within the mountain ranges. Bartholomew, as he was kind of parting from you, had mentioned, he's going to meet you there, but he has a few other bits of preparation to do before things, truly kick off. And
so, how long do we have before the next rainbow?
From what Bartholomew had told you, it hasn't appeared yet, but he expects it to appear sometime this afternoon. And of course, as you remember from last time, it disappears at sundown.
He should have really let us prepare before.
Don't worry, I got you taken care of. Yep, I got everything under control. Here, and I hand everybody oil, a flask of oil.
Okay, what am I supposed to do with this? Lube myself up?
No. You smash it on your hands and his hands. Get it on his hands, so whenever he tries to do his little handshake, we burn it. So then he can't do his handshake, and then he has to let go.
Okay, so when I take the flask of oil, I spray my hands with antibacterial.
Yes, that is it. Yep, good idea.
And wipe them off.
Yes, you light your hands on fire. Perfect.
I believe he's saying he was just making use of hand sanitizer. But Elysia and Othgarurt, you also appear in the space.
I hand everybody face masks.
Oh, thanks.
I put these on.
Now we won't recognize us.
Yeah, sure. That's totally why I gave you these to you.
I am not sure that this disguise will work as thoroughly for me.
I just stretch it around.
You guys will need this too. And I hand them flasks of oil as well.
What are we doing with these flasks of oil?
So, here's an idea. Okay, last time, I was the only one who got gold. So what he does is he likes to make handshakes. So what you do is you smash the oil on his hands whenever he goes to make the handshake, and then I light it on fire. So then he can't make the handshake, or he'll mess up his handshake, and then it won't work.
But how does him not being able to handshake us cause him to give us the gold? Or
We
let
defeat
us-
him in rock, paper, scissors. You always pick scissors, because then his hand's going to be on fire, and he's going to go, ah! And it's going to be paper, and you're going to win.
Setting his head on fire to stop him from handshaking.
No, it'll make it so that he can't only do paper. Yes, paper is when you're shaking your hand. That's paper, right? So you beat him with scissors.
So how do we get the oil on his hands while we're doing the handshake?
Yes, that's it.
Doesn't he just take the oil off when we're playing rock or scissors after the handshake?
Well,
And I imagine while you guys are having this conversation, you're kind of working your way through the woodlands to the kind of remote temporary shop that Bartholomew's put together.
Oh,
yes.
I assumed we were already there.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm just making sure you guys were walking and this wasn't still at the area where you kind of popped in.
No. We're just still sitting there. Doing
Just hanging, yeah.
Nah,
All right, yeah. So you begin walking through the terrain, and it's wooded. While you're having this conversation, it's wooded. It's also a lot more, like I said, mountainous. You can see further up ahead the higher peaks of the Slumbering Spine, which are more kind of just bare rock face. But as it stands now, you're still in kind of a lightly forested area. And there is a pretty clear path that seems to lead you forward. And it's not long before you can see it's an exact replica of the Bartholomew's shop that you always know. There's just no Last Hope Tavern next to it because it's in a different location. Usually you guys just have like doors and stuff that you can open, or Bartholomew will teleport you back. So it's rare to kind of like walk up and see the shop from the front as you are kind of now. Especially in a different spot. It's kind of doubly a little bit strange, but you can see the shop up ahead. Is there anything else that you guys are kind of discussing before you get in there with
no, just more about the plan on how the handshake will work.
All right, yeah, you're really like leaning into this handshake, rock, paper, scissors, paper move.
I'll be trying to discuss his like what he does. Like he got high specs. He's probably some sort of magical spellcaster.
Yes, I know.
That stuff.
That's exactly it. Yes, it's hard to keep concentration when you're taking damage, right?
Yeah,
I remember
so you think why doesn't he just put out the fire then? Like,
Well,
what is
because you're
keeping him
doing
from
just
doing-
I light it on fire just as he's doing the handshake.
So
he's
we're
this- you-
continually lighting his hands on fire and pouring oil on his who's gonna be the handshaker?
Okay, I don't know who's gonna be the handshaker, but I'll light the hands on fire,
You'll be
right?
lighting the hands on fire. Somebody is
what-
gonna be playing rock paper scissors, and the other person's gonna be shaking their hands. Does that mean that we have a fourth?
No.
person?
No, the person who's shaking their hands is gonna do the rock paper scissors. What you do is whenever you go to shake their hands, you smash the vial on their hands right when he doesn't expect it, and then you shake the hand, and then I light it on fire.
But then how do you play
Shaking
rock
the
paper
hand.
scissors at the same time?
Because then he'll pick you already have scissors ready to go, and then he'll pick paper because his hand will be on fire. That's how it'll work. You'll get him.
We're breaking the oil with the handshake when we get the oil on our hand, and then
Yes!
have that on fire as well.
Yes,
and also
yes.
Cast paper.
Oh, well, actually, I'm resistant to fire, so I can shake his hands.
The door to Bartholomew's shop, kind of the little bell rings as you walk in, and you can see it almost seems like it's just the same place, just like transported almost, kind of extra dimensional vibe about it. And as you walk in, Bartholomew goes, greetings, adventurers. I'm glad you're able to make it. What's all this about shaking hands?
Why do we even shake hands anymore? It's just the worst way to spread germs. Maybe we should stop shaking hands and just fist bump people. Or
But he likes
even-
to shake
elbows.
hands. He likes to shake hands, though. He likes to do that.
here. Maybe he's like discovered. Maybe I should fist bump people.
Yes.
What happens if he doesn't like shaking hands? Think about it for a second.
Well, let's discuss. Well, you're all here. I expect the rainbow to appear any time now. But let's talk about this whole handshaking thing. And well, for starters, why don't you tell me what you know about him as it stands, and I'll tell you what I know as well. For one thing, this shaking hands business, I believe that is how he creates magical pacts. I have done the same thing from time to time. I don't know if the fire will prevent him from making that bond. It's more of a way of ensuring that his deals go through.
Right. It's not going to stop him from making the bond, but it will make him respond. And whenever he responds, you already have the answer already ready. So whenever that happens, he'll pick paper and you'll have scissors ready.
I think it's a good play, but from what I've been gathering about leprechauns, last time you attempted to, you nearly got to his pot of gold. It was relatively nearby him, and if you had seized but a single, seized the pot itself, reached over and grasped the gold from within, the enchantments upon it would have broken, and you would have, the gold would have poured out and been given to you. All you need to do is touch the pot.
Okay, but I'm kind of a anti. I'm not a cannibal. So.
Okay.
I don't really understand what you mean by that.
Oh, never mind. I guess we're talking about a different pot.
Yes.
Okay. Here's what I know. He can pull a lot of trickery and teleportation, moving around. He doesn't like it when you don't play by his rules, so we could use that to our advantage.
That is good to know. Mm-hmm. What abilities did he utilize? And what abilities have you gained that might make you more suitable to overcome those?
He had paralyzing hands or something. Feel like he could stop time with his hand.
That is actually familiar. I remember someone mentioning something about him halting the progress of time. That might be harder to beat him in rock, paper, scissors if he can do that.
But not if you have scissors already ready. So he can halt time all he wants, but you already have scissors.
But then couldn't he just do rock while time was stopped?
Mm-hmm.
Well. Elysia, Othgarurt, what do you think?
He is too clever for his own good, always prepared for anything we might pull.
You said too clever for his own good. Is there a way you think you can wield that against him?
I think perhaps if he is expecting us to come with a very smart plan, and we come with a stupid plan, he might not see that coming.
Just do something unexpected that he won't be
like the hands. The hands was a good idea.
No, he's expecting the hands. It's a great idea, isn't it?
Oh, okay.
Instead of our hands, then.
Oh, yes! Feet! That would be great, yes.
Go after his feet. I feel like you guys are really narrowing in on the whole hands thing. And
Alright, well, first of all, do we have anything that could help with, the illusions and all of his trickery?
The ability to pierce through the veil of his illusions and see them. Let me think upon this. I mean, of course.
There was at least 3 fake pots of gold last time.
Okay. Yes, I remember a number of other illusions that you had mentioned as well. And cages and things. All right. I can look into maybe creating something that would allow you to see truly and to pierce the veil of his illusion. That would be a tool that would be very effective for this endeavor. Do you agree?
Yeah. It'd be also very hard to hide from him. He's got sort of an omniscient presence around his area.
Okay.
So while we could keep him distracted, he's just gonna like teleport all over the place.
Well, as long as you're following the rainbow to his pot of gold, it shouldn't matter if he's teleporting all over the place. You only need to get to one point. We have that advantage.
Be anywhere from shaking hands with Elysia to popping back over while I'm trying to take the pot of gold and stopping me instantly. No, that's not fun.
While you continue to discuss these things...
What if we all go for the gold at the same time?
I mean, that seems like a good
That's
strategy.
a good idea. So it's not very good to just split us up because he can address us at any time. If we work together, maybe we can overwhelm him.
I'm going to take a quick run into the workshop and see if I can throw something together. Something that will allow you to pierce the veil of his illusions. Meanwhile, you can remain in here and plan. He shouldn't be able to sense you in here. I put some wards against detection magics and any sort of scrying and divination in here. Also, a fun little feature I've never had in one of my shops. I put in a sunroof. So check to make sure that the rainbow appears when it does. In the afternoon. As I said, I was expecting it sometime within the next couple of hours.
Now, here's an idea. Why don't we just beat him up?
I mean, if you think you can handle him, but you also won't know where he is until the rainbow arrives.
But didn't he, make multiples of them last time? And then we were beating up illusions and stuff, and that was no fun.
Yeah.
Perhaps being able to see through these illusions with the item I'm making for you will be an effective way of doing that. So I'm going to get to work immediately. Please continue to figure out what your plan is. And Bartholomew hops off and kind of closes the door behind him. You see him kind of putting the goggles on that he usually reserves for Bartholomew's choices over his eyes as he gets ready to artifice something for you guys to see through Ivy's illusion.
So what's the plan, Othgarurt? Elysia?
I say bum rush it. That's a good idea.
I am unsure. He has seen my capacity for feats of strength, and he will no doubt be prepared. I will not be able to rush past him as easily this time.
Well, last time he likes games, so how about we play a game that we know we can win?
Is there any such game that we could win that he could not cheat in?
Is there any game that you couldn't lose in? Is more the question.
I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I do know. I could beat him in a chair making contest.
The challenge of making chairs.
Yes.
Are you confident in yourself?
Yes.
And I use my sit ability to just make a chair instantly and sit down.
That's true. You watch as he magically conjures a chair that looks like whatever he wants to conjure underneath him as he sits down.
Okay, well, I think we get 4 tries, one for each of us. Or we could try a group effort and have him 1v4 us in the game. We'd have to do that.
Rock, paper, scissors. And chair making. Both at the same time.
You see, I'm not very good at making chairs. My chair making days are over. I'm a bit too old to make chairs nowadays.
I have made many things, but I cannot recall if I have made a chair before.
But I can do rock, paper, scissors. But rock, paper, scissors, you know. He's a cheater. How are we supposed to beat him?
We cheat him too. We cheat. That's how we beat him.
Cheat how so?
I already told you.
That's, just setting him on fire.
Yes, but then I'll pick paper.
I love the I just love the idea of the cheat being just, oh, well, if you light your opponent on fire, won't succeed as much in the game. It's delightful. Oh, I just tried to drink water with the cap on the belly.
Yes, that's so good.
So you guys continue to kind of discuss for a while. Are you guys also keeping lookout for the, rainbow, I assume, through the, like,
Yes.
there's a sunroof
Yeah.
that Bartholomew put in for this purpose? Does any of you who would like to be doing that make me a perception check?
Okay.
I feel like this rock, paper, scissors idea is holding us back. We should explore other venues.
All right. So the three of you are looking out. Othgarurt, you're looking up through the sunroof, and you're not really catching anything at the moment. You're not seeing any. You're hoping to maybe just catch some like lights in the sky or something. But the day is long. The sun's still kind of high up in the sky. It's around kind of mid-noon now, so it's still within kind of the range Bartholomew would mention. And actually, as this is happening, Bartholomew kind of pokes his head back through the door. What are all of your goggle size? What's the length, circumference of head?
As big as this?
And I
hold on
just-
a second, and he just kind of looks over at all of you, and he just kind of snaps his fingers a bunch of times, and as he does, you just see like a bust conjures of each of you as he's kind of looking at you, and he goes, "I'm good enough," and he kind of takes all those little molds of your heads and drags them back into the room.
Oh, you could have my regular head, but okay.
Because I can regrow limbs.
That's true. I don't know if you can regrow head. You can regrow arms and legs. He goes back to work. You guys are still just kind of chilling. Anything else you're doing while you're just hanging out here? Or is this now just keeping your eyes peeled and just gonna kind of wing it as you go in?
We still don't have a plan.
Yeah, you guys still don't have a plan.
The only plan so far is shaking his hands and lighting it on fire.
Yes, and also rushing in and just grabbing the pot as fast as possible. Both plans seem good.
Othgarurt.
I am aware of a unusual game played in some household. I do not have a good deal of knowledge on it, but from what I hear, the game of life has no winners.
That's a good one. What if we make a game where you can never win?
If we play a game where it's always a stalemate, then perhaps we can keep them distracted while we go and take the door.
Do we need to do this game then? The entire last time it seemed he was just trying to distract us with these games, so we wanted to get to the...
Oh yeah, we could just go straight for the goal.
Yeah, let's not do any of the games. That's a good idea. And just go straight for the gold. That way we don't waste any.
We open with the handshake, light him on fire, and then we just take his gold.
Yes, good idea.
So is this the conclusion that you all reach? Handshake, light him on fire, just run for the gold.
Yes.
All right. Some more time passes.
Very subtle and finesse. I'll get time if I say so myself.
I mean, sometimes there's beauty in simplicity. Would you guys like to make another round of perception checks as you're looking out for the rainbow?
Sure. Oh, that one was good.
All right, yeah. Sonny, you look up and out and are trying to. You as well, Farzu. You're looking up for the rainbow. You see no sign of it. Bartholomew assured you that it would appear over here. You can still hear him kind of working in the working on the shop, trying to put these things together. And he goes, "Any sign yet? It's taking longer than I hoped it would."
I'm gonna go outside and find out.
What if there's an illusion above us? And
Maybe.
this game?
What if this isn't even Bartholomew? What if this is the leprechaun?
And Bartholomew
We
goes,
should try this quickly.
preposterous.
Tell me something only Bartholomew would know.
My name is, I'm a very powerful wizard. I know all manner of spells and enchantments and so forth.
Nope,
Alright.
that sounds like an imposter. Imposter!
And he kind of goes, he walks out of the front of the shop. Are you going to look outside?
Yes, I will look outside.
All right. You go and kind of go to open the door, and it does not budge. It is locked completely solid. It doesn't even feel like a door. It feels like you're just holding on to, as you grab the handle, just a chunk of stone.
Oh,
Alright. We've been tricked, bamboozled, and
I told you it was imposter. Imposter!
damn well fooled.
And Bartholomew kind of steps out from the back room, and he looks over at the group of you. And he goes, well, I believe it is starting to get on in the day, so you should still have plenty of time. Why don't you go out and just maybe see if you can find the rainbow now. Something wrong with the door there?
Yeah, you imposter! Bees!
And you watch as bees appear from within the appear from within your cloak, as Bartholomew's face kind of like slacks, and his form kind of shrinks and alters, and you watch as the long kind of white beard of Bartholomew shores up into a tighter red one, and before long a complete transformation reveals the form of Irie before you, the leprechaun that you encountered a year ago. And he goes, "It's starting to get on in the day. I was wondering if you'd ever notice." Well, what time is it now? 2, 3, 4 o'clock? I mean, up through the sunroof there. I mean, it looks to be about noon, I would say, but I think we're closer to... And he just kind of waves his hand, and you watch as the image of the sun kind of in the sky shifts over, and the day is starting to grow. The day is starting to grow longer. Looks over. Well, it's a wonderful thing to see the four of you again. How have you been since we last spoke?
Fantastic! Actually, really great. Awesome.
Oh,
Better than ever. Yeah.
I believe we've wasted our time. We should probably make haste at this point, yes?
Oh,
And I
that's the reason.
will
Go on,
run
say.
towards where
Hey.
it appeared Bartholomew's lab was.
As you kind of go over and open, you want to open the door?
Yep.
Here, you go to open the door, and there isn't even a door there. That is illusory. You put your hand through, and it's just like a very short closet, and it seems that the walls inside are made entirely of just raw stone.
That's pretty cool.
Changed up the terrain on ya. That's one of the old tricks of the trade. But I'm sure to be done with those, what is it, to see through my illusions, true sight? I should have that for you pretty soon. I'm almost done with the goggles. Now, tell me, Othgarurt, how have you been? Still working with bones, are you, or you moved on to anything better?
I have been attempting to learn metalworking, yes.
Oh, really? You should stick to what you know, though. And he goes, well, I don't suspect that you'll be leaving here, so if you're interested, you can light my hand on fire now. And he pulls his hand out towards you. So long as I'm just, well, milling about a bit. We have a lot of time in here, and...
Sure, sounds like a great idea.
And he kind of waves his hand over the
Hold
illusion
on a
again.
second. Wait a second. Okay.
And we can see inside of this closet, right? That's made out of stone, right?
Yeah, it's just a stone.
Okay, so I
It's
go
just a
and
stone
pretend.
kind of recess in the wall. that is
So I
illusion
go to
disappears.
pretend to shake his hand, and I will grab him and teleport him into the with Thunderstep. I will go to reach to him and teleport into the closet.
Okay. It has to be a willing creature, unfortunately.
He's willing to touch me, right?
But I mean, the idea is he has to be willing to teleport. Like, It's not just like a thing you can kind of like deception
Okay.
past. Yes, I'd be willing to teleport. But you want to just teleport him into that stone room? I mean, it's just like an alcove. You can just walk out. It's not closed.
I understand. I would. Well,
If
I
you
could
don't
just.
want to waste the spell in that case. I understand.
Oh, no, oh, okay, fine. I will go to shake and make plants. Just
All right. You watch as kind of plants grow out and kind of spread around the small chamber that you're in. It's not a very big kind of. It's not kind of a very big room that you're in right now. And he goes, no, the plant's on the ground. However, will I move as quickly? And you have, well, it seems I've thoroughly bested. All that's left now is to claim my pot of gold for yourself. And he kind of puts his head down.
I will firebolt Sun Earth and see if we can break through that way.
You're going to just try and like fire, just basically explode your way out through the stone. Just break it.
Is the ceiling also stone?
The ceiling is still under the effects of an illusion.
so does this 100-foot radius of actual plants do anything to the illusion? Does it like show kind of where the illusion kind of ends, or where it doesn't completely?
You are in a pretty small room right now. I mean, it's just the size of Bartholomew's shop, which is
Maybe the
not
plants go a certain way
particularly huge
that
room.
isn't that to an exit that we wouldn't otherwise have.
But they spread around the floor. But it seems that, from what you can tell, kind of feeling around, and just kind of grabbing the space, he's got you in just a solid stone box right now.
Okay, cool.
So, Elysia, you said you're going to kind of blast through the sunroof. You throw your firebolt at the sunroof, and you watch as like bits of stone kind of crackle and fall off the ceiling, and just a very small roll damage on that, actually. A very small bit of stone kind of breaks off and crumbles to the ground below. It looks like you might be able to break through it. Like you can see like a little bit of a beam of light that you weren't able to quite see before. That's now kind of poking through where you shot it. It would need more force than maybe just a firebolt, but it looks like you could potentially break out of this that way if you wanted to.
Well, I could. Yeah, I'm not going to say this out loud, but I'm going to look at that little hole that we could easily see through, and like poke somebody next to me and just be like pointing up to the left.
Yeah, you can see light. You can actually see through the hole. It still just looks like, it still just looks like ceiling, like wooden on the top. But there's just like a beam of light that's like peeking through the wood for no reason.
Right, but I still have hit Thunderstep that I have access to, which I assume my allies would. So I could take somebody up there potentially.
All right, you can try and do that if you'd like.
I don't know if anybody would be willing to go.
Yeah, what's it?
Would you go? You can crack through it from the outside.
I believe I could try.
Okay. Hey, Irie, I'm sorry. I was mean to you before. I apologize.
Your apology.
Here. I'm so sorry. I was being such a mean guest. Hey, Othgarurt, give me a hug.
Yes. It's time for our hourly brotherly
Hugging.
embrace.
Yes, exactly.
And we're still next to Irie, right? So I'm gonna just thunderstep us out through the little hole, hitting Irie with the thunder damage and putting us outside.
All right, he's gonna make a Constitution saving throw. Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. I'm not gonna roll it to the GM layer. Oh, that's not what I'm gonna roll either. All right, Constitution. He actually is gonna succeed on that. So he's gonna take half damage. So he's gonna take 9 points of thunder damage. Just poof, you explode upwards and into onto presumably the roof of this place. And as you pop out, the kind of daylight here becomes a little bit clearer, and you can see where you're at. And the day is certainly longer than you thought it was. the walk up here, maybe there was something that was off about that as well, because it does seem like a lot of time has passed, but just watching the sun before, you were fine. But now that you're here, you can see, yeah, the sun's going to be going down soon, and you see a rainbow. You see maybe 10 of them that are like crisscrossing in different directions and leading all over the place. That is the kind of area that you come into now. Othgarurt and Sunny, as you appear on the roof of what is very literally a stone box that you can now see from the outside of it. There's a small kind of crack in it where light is filtering through, and you can see like the flat illusion from this side of the wood in that small little hole that Elysia made. What do you guys do? Actually, as soon as you get up there, both of you hear in your minds as well. Starting with you, Othgarurt, you hear, come in, Othgarurt, is that you?
Quickly, what is my favorite type of Titan?
The Tarrasque, I would assume, yes.
It is the real Bartholomew.
The rainbow has appeared. It's back again. It's back again now. We don't have a lot of time. I need you to go after it. Where are you?
Shut up,
I
idiot!
tried to teleport to you, but something's interfering with my magic.
Oh, it's the leprechaun, maybe. But I don't care. You probably aren't the real Bartholomew. You are a imposter!
I'm the
Imposter!
real Bartholomew. Oh no! And you just basically like shut off your mind to him, and you. He's like, no, wait, I'm not an imposter. What's going on? Explain to me the situation. Report back, son. And you're just ignoring him.
Yes.
He's saying the same things to you as you're now out of this little box, Othgarurt. What's going on?
Are we gonna just run in the direction of a rainbow? I think that's the best option.
Meanwhile, Elysia and Farzu, you guys are still in the house. Othgarurt and Sunny have disappeared, but Irie is still kind of sitting in the house with you guys and goes, seems your friends have sojourned, but I think I've delayed enough.
Othgarurt can stay there if he wants. I'm gonna run towards the rain.
Okay.
Farzu seems oddly still.
Irie's kind of like looking at you, and he kind of like raises an eyebrow. Are you okay?
There's no response.
All right. What are you doing right now, Elysia?
Waiting on someone to finish busting through the ceiling.
All right.
I mean, I'll throw some fire bolts to.
Yeah. Do you want to keep trying to break it open?
Indeed.
All right. Go ahead and make me. I mean, just give it enough time. Make me an attack roll, and it'll represent how long it takes you to kind of break through the ceiling in this fight. Oh my goodness, Elysia. What does it look like? It takes 3 shots in total. What does it look like as you just demolish the stone box cage that you're in?
So I had asked Sunny to take Othgarurt out there so he could help bust through, and nothing was coming, and it seems that something has suddenly caught their attention, almost like running into real Bartholomew, and I'll just expedite things myself, blowing a hole next to the two of them.
All right. It kind of erupts behind you. Sunny has already run off in the direction of some of these rainbows. But Othgarurt, as you're kind of communicating with Bartholomew here, Elysia kind of climbs up behind you and hops out. Farzu, are you still oddly still?
Could I just say something, even though, like, I don't know if it's cool with you, but, so, basically, I'm gonna be like, Farzu that was inside the box with them was actually an illusion all along. And he shows up, like, trying to catch up with the group, like, from outside of the box, being like, I gotcha. And with like an old man stroller walking because he had to make it to get to the. He's like, oh, my back. But he's the Farzu that's been with the group all along has been just an illusion.
Yes. This was all your plan.
This was part of the plan all along. I predicted
all of this, and now Farzu arrives, but also equally late.
Yeah. And since we're free now anyway, so
yeah. All right. So, Elysia, you climb out and you look down at Farzu, and I will. This is a one-time. No one try this again. I'm going to allow this
mind games.
Yeah. I'm going to allow this exactly this once. No one watching or in this game ever try this again. You look down at Farzu, and Farzu just has this blank expression, is just staring dead at Irie, who is actually kind of transfixed and is almost like entering into a staring contest with the Farzu, and Irie's just kind of looking over at you, and just, you okay, Farzu? What do you guys do?
Dashing towards the direction of the rainbow, just going full speed.
I say to the wait, hey, I'm here, let's go! And we just bolt down to the plan's worked, he's distracted.
And you see
all according to plan.
A plan that was not discussed with any of you. Farzu just dives out of the bushes, ragged and tired from an incredibly long journey. And Elysia and Othgarurt, you see an illusory Farzu in the house below you.
When Bartholomew originally talked to Farzu, he was miles away on a vacation. And he had to come here manually instead of just a quick teleportation. Jesse forgot.
Understood. So Elysia and Othgarurt, what are you guys doing as you see Sunny and now strangely appearing Farzu from the woods kind of running up ahead? One thing you do notice is there are a lot of rainbows here. It looks like in addition to the illusory house, there are illusory rainbows that he's created to send you guys in bogus directions.
Bartholomew, I don't suppose you have any of your specialized sight on the rainbow and can show us its trajectory?
Are you thinking that? Yeah, Bartholomew also gave you the come in, and he goes, let me see what I can do. And he goes, where are you?
We're above a stone brick in vaguely the shape of your...
Okay, I'm going to scry you. Are you ready?
Yes.
Just be a willing creature. And Bartholomew begins to kind of scry on your location, and you can feel someone attempting to scry on you. Do you let him do it?
I will let him do it.
All right. And he's kind of looking around and goes, my true sight doesn't work when, my true sight doesn't work if it's through scrying. I have to actually see it with my own eyes. But Bartholomew goes, look over. I wish I could just come out, but there's so much to do. Go over to that one. And he just points to one.
I run over to it as quickly as I can.
And as you go up to it, you just kind of, you move into it, and it is just light. It just passes through it. He goes, what do you feel?
Nothing. It seems to just be light.
Yes, it's bouncing around like before, but it should feel like a liquid. The real one will have a liquidy quality to it. You could find it easier if you had one already, but if you just kind of wave your hands through it, it'll give resistance. That'll tell you where the real one is.
Okay, everyone, let's run. Everyone to a different rainbow. Run through them and see if they feel viscous.
I have a better idea. Firebolt at all the rainbows.
And as you throw the firebolts out, you watch as they cascade through the various rainbows. And as they make contact with them, you watch as bubbles of this rainbowy liquid, like you remember seeing last time, kind of flow out and move. It seems to almost like the illusion reacts to your fireball, to your firebolt, even though it's not passing. Even though it's just passing through illusions on some of these, obviously, you'd have to feel the tangent. Unless Bartholomew said, unless you, it's easier to find a rainbow if you have bits of that rainbow, but you would need to find some before you could properly begin following it. So, what is Othgarurt doing this whole time?
As soon as Elysia got out of the stone house, he'll start climbing down from the stone, wait long enough to hear her conversation or result of her conversation, and then take off towards the north to start feeling some rainbows.
Start feeling rainbows?
Yep.
That's a word that you only hear in D&D, a phrase. Go ahead and make me an investigation check, and anyone who wants to do that, go ahead and make me an investigation check.
No, I don't know.
Alright, yeah. You take some time, and Elysia, eventually really like focusing on it, and going through, you have the aid of, or you don't have an innate flying speed, do you? You just only have to enact what you do, or you do not?
I do not have an innate one. It's
Okay, yeah,
action in the last minute.
That's what I thought.
Oh, Farzu, being the complete genius mastermind that he is when we get like close enough, he feels, to like the end of the rainbow, I'm gonna cast Locate Object on the gold that he took from me last year.
Alright, I fucking love it. You absolutely can do that because you remembered it. And so you begin kind of looking around also. Elysia, you're doing your best to like climb, but some of these are very high up. But then you just see Farzu with their kind of like bonus action speed dashing around, like hand cascading through various rainbows, creating rainbow bubbles throughout the space, until eventually, Farzu, your hand connects with a solid one as you very quickly kind of dart back and forth between them, and some of like the bits of bubble begin to like move outwards, and you're able to kind of like guide them and push them a little bit. You end up with a handful of this kind of rainbow liquid at the end, and you have found the real rainbow in all of this.
All right, here we go. I found it.
Okay, let's do it. Yeah.
And you guys begin to sprint along, following it. You run as quickly as you can, I imagine. Farzu, I know actually, Othgarurt, you're also very fast. How fast are you, Othgarurt?
Where most people would move 30 feet, I would move 40 feet.
Okay. Yeah. I'm thinking of you had extra buffs before that were giving you.
I don't have those anymore.
Yeah, you had giving you sonic speed. So you're a little bit slower than Farzu. Are you guys using your speed to get extra distance ahead, or are y'all just kind of going at the pace? Is that what it is?
I'll use my full speed, and I'll be like, I'm sorry for being late. Kept you waiting, huh?
Yeah, you kind of did.
So Farzu, you kind of say that as you, I imagine, anime run ahead of them, moving at like just a quicker pace than them with your bonus action dash. Othgarurt trailing just a little bit behind. Othgarurt, I didn't hear what you said on that. Are you keeping pace, or are you letting your own speed get you ahead of Elysia and Sunny?
I ditched the old man stroller that I've just been walking slowly and casually.
I will be doing my best to keep pace.
So you're hanging back or forging ahead? I'm sorry.
I mean to keep pace with the big boss here.
Okay.
Faster we get to the gold, the better chances we are of actually grabbing it and not losing it.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're kind of splitting up a little bit because we're fast.
So you, slowly as you guys are running, there becomes a little bit slightly larger and larger gap between you as you guys are all following along this rainbow as best you can. There are a number of like illusory rainbows that are crisscrossing and trying to like throw you off the track, but as long as your hands are kind of holding on to it and you're feeling the physical liquid and the weight of the one, you can't really get lost anymore. And you kind of continue along this path, and finally as you're running along, up in front of you, you start to see Irie appearing on the trees above you, as he's looking down at you, who's kind of in the lead here, Farzu, and going, "Shouldn't you be spending some time with your family, Farzu? It seems like you never get out quite enough."
Could I have given my rod of tomato summoning to Sunny or Lee?
Yeah, I'll do that. Sure.
Yeah, I'll be like, can you cover me while we're going in, so he can't find us?
Sure.
And do you just ignore his comment, Farzu?
Yeah.
So
Keep
how does the
going.
Rada Tomato summoning work? I don't know.
With it, you can cast Sleet Storm as
Okay. I'll do that.
causing rotten tomatoes to rain down from the sky.
And
Okay.
Othgarurt comes by, and as you kind of run past him, Othgarurt, he starts kind of running alongside of you, looking at you, go, Othgarurt. No time to chat, do ya?
I would be happy to talk with you after we have claimed your gold.
It seems to me
Distracted.
like you're putting in a lot of work in order to take something that doesn't belong to you. Does that really sit well on your conscience, Othgarurt?
After some of the things I have known you to pull, you deserve this.
That seems awful mean. I mean, can you really blame someone for just defending what's theirs?
I know that you are a liar and a cheat, and if you excuse me, I have little time for further chatter.
And he kind of sighs and he goes, well, I'll see you at the finish line, I suppose, if that's how you want to play it. And kind of as he just kind of stops and waits, and now at this point, Sunny and Elysia are just standing there. You just see Irie kind of like waiting, looking
And
back
I
at
say,
Othgarurt right ahead.
Imposter! And I do the Sleet Storm thing.
All right, yeah, rotten tomatoes begin to rain down through the sky. You also have to run through these rotten tomatoes, which is maybe not the best case scenario, because he's standing just in your path. But he kind of looks at you and he goes, really? Rotting tomatoes. That's what you got.
Yes! Yes! Imposter!
And he just kind of looks, and Elysia, please, perhaps a few words.
As Elysia runs, she will presto to make a small trinket, which is just a little hair clip she'll put on her head in the same side direction Irie's on, and it's just like a little hand emoji.
And Irie kind of like disappointed that you're not going to spare him a few moments to speak. Just you see him behind you just disappear in a puff of smoke, and he's kind of leaving you alone for the moment, and you just kind of hear an echo as he moves away. All right, I guess I'll see all of you at the finish line then. And with that, you kind of continue forward, and you, who's in the lead, Farzu, you come across something of a small gap. It's maybe only like a 10-foot jump. Are you able to make that?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Well, it's you see like a 10-foot kind of gap up ahead.
Okay. Could I try hiding at full speed on the way there? Or, like, I don't know how that works. Or do I have to, like, move at half speed?
You have to, in order to stealth while you're moving, you have to walk at a more controlled pace. So you'd have to move at half speed.
Alright, never mind.
Okay. You could, I mean, if you had cover, but right now you're also moving over just sort of like rocky terrain. You can see a little bit further up over this kind of little, like I said, this like 10-foot ravine. You can see further along the way, there's like a big open cavern, and the rainbow seems to lead into that cavern. It's carved out into the slumbering spine. What would you like to do as you reach this point?
Okay. Well, is Othgarurt with me?
Othgarurt's lagging behind. Are you like stopping at this point? Because there's like almost like a dividing line in the kind of path forward, in the form of this like little like miniature chasm here. And so if you want to stop there, Othgarurt, we'll be able to catch up in not too long, and then Elysia and Sunny not too long after.
Does
if you
the
want to reform
does
up.
the ravine? Does the rainbow go into the ravine?
The rainbow does not. It goes over the ravine, so it's just a little bit of a jump.
All right. Well, I'll jump over and try to continue my way.
Okay. As you do so, your legs kind of don't connect with the ground as you hit the other side, and you begin falling through the illusory terrain. It looks like this ravine was actually a fair chunk longer than that. As you begin to fall, the illusion becomes clear to you immediately, and you are now kind of tumbling and cascading down into the depths of this cliff below. Othgarurt, you who were about to catch up with Farzu, you could see up ahead where Farzu jumps forward and then just falls downwards and into the ground. Farzu, you begin to fall. What do you do?
Cast Featherfall.
Oh wait, you have Featherfall?
I'm a trickster, yeah?
Oh shit. Alright. We don't get that many spells. I didn't know if you have one for Featherfall.
That's right.
You, in that case, you're totally fine. You begin kind of lazily and gently kind of moving on down to the bottom of the ravine, but you're now down at the bottom of a ravine. It's about 100 feet deep, and it doesn't seem like all that easy of a climb back out. Othgarurt, I assume you stop once you reach this point? You just saw your friend fall into ground.
Fortunately, yeah, he's not going to be able to. I'm not going to be able to move too much.
How far is the distance? Like, do we know how far it is at this? I wouldn't know.
How far the ravine itself is?
Yeah, like how far across?
Now, you can't see it from where you are, but now that Farzu has fallen into it, you can see that Farzu, you can see that it's about actually 20 feet wide. This jump.
Okay. All right. I have a way to get across, but
right.
I don't know about other people.
Yeah, you're not quite there yet. And Farzu, you find yourself now gently kind of having fallen to the bottom of this ravine.
Okay, I'm gonna think of the plan.
Othgarurt will quickly take rope from his pack, tie it to his carving dagger, and slam the carving dagger into the ground and throw the rope over. Okay.
You're just gonna create this kind of makeshift rope. Go ahead and make me a strength check just to make sure that dagger's really in there.
Since the ravine's like 100 foot deep, Featherfall makes me fall at 60 feet per round. Could I, like mid-air, like use, a tool off my utility belt and like grapple hook onto the next ledge? Or just, I'm basically trying to climb up.
Yeah, go ahead and make me an acrobatics or athletics. I will let you pick which one. As you're trying to basically catch halfway through your feather fall. 23, yeah, absolutely. So you're not all the way, you don't make it all the way down to the bottom of the ravine. You're about 40 feet out from it as you fall 60 feet and then catch the edge, which I think is actually the standard length of adventuring rope. Is that correct, Othgarurt? Aren't most of those ropes 60 feet? Yeah, that's actually works out pretty nicely for you. So the rope gets thrown over the side, 19, yeah, you, no issue. Just chunk it right into the dirt in the ground. And you are able to then grab onto the rope. It's still a climb with the rope, but you have an athletics check with advantage to get your way back up.
Okay. Should I do that now?
Yep.
Go.
17. Yeah. Okay. So you climb up to the top and make it back. You're on the same side as Othgarurt, and both of you are on the precipice of this. Both of you are on the precipice of this 20-foot gap, and you're seeing the holes in the illusion now that you're really kind of focusing on Othgarurt. Sunny and Elysia, I think this is the point at which you catch up after this little ordeal. You've all kind of accordioned back into each other, and you guys are all on the other side of this little cliff.
Hey, Elysia, you want to go for a ride?
I suppose.
Okay. Grab on.
I will grab the flower.
All right. We're gonna thunder step across. We're not dealing with this ravine. We're going as far as possible, so 90 feet.
Another explosion, and you appear on the other side of the ravine, a good distance away, not far from the cave into which the rainbow leads, with a shifting of the paces. Elysia and Sunny now kind of taking the foreguard as the day is kind of now truly wearing on properly. The sun is starting to set as you guys are on the precipice of this cave.
Sunny, do you have any rope?
Yeah, sure. Here.
And I give him my 100 feet of rope.
I will tie Sunny's rope to my rope, and try to tie it around anything here on the other side of the cliff to throw line back to Othgarurt and Farzu.
Yeah, and I think given time, I guess it's just a question of given time.
I keep going forward. I thought we're.
All right, you begin kind of stepping forward and moving your way into the cave. Back there, it's just a question of time for you guys. Do you want to make checks and do it instantly, or do you want to take time and do it safely?
I'm like, damn it, we're late. Things aren't going as planned. And I'll like sort of try to think of a thing to make us go faster. So what kind of check would that be like to get?
You're just trying to like think, have an idea to like improve your pace moving forward.
Yeah, like on the spot, you know, strategic thinking.
I think that would. I don't know if that's a check. I think you just have to have that because I don't have any.
Lucky as a character.
Yeah,
All right.
You, the player, have to come up with that. If you have a way to angle that, what were you going to say with Gert?
How heavy is Farzu?
Probably not that.
Could I keep like an eye out for like the illusions that keep us like sort of predict where the illusions are,
where the
and,
next
like,
illusion is?
help us. Yeah.
Yeah. In that case, go ahead and make me a investigation check to try and see through illusions. All right. So 14. Are you picking up? Are you picking up Farzu?
Is it all right if I carry you?
Yeah.
Then yes.
What is
I'll pick him up.
What is Othgarurt's strength? Can Othgarurt just make this jump?
His strength is 20.
Oh my god, he can just make the jump.
So you can just jump across this ravine alongside of, and I was going to say that you had to make a check because you're carrying Farzu, but Farzu also is the one that's telling you where the illusion is because he's like really seen through it at this point. So you just leap over easily with Farzu in tow, spending basically no time. And Elysia, you're there with like your rope, and then you just see Othgarurt make this leap of incredible athletic prowess.
I drop the rope and run.
All right, you whip around. Sunny's already a little bit ahead of you guys as Sunny's kind of moving into this cavern, and it is significantly darker. It is significantly darker in this cave, Sunny. You don't have dark vision, do you?
Oh, but I do have this. Bing.
All right, cool. You begin casting a light as you step into the cavern here. And as you do so, the rainbow's kind of like curving through the corridors of it as you move through twists and turns. And eventually, in the chamber that you can see up above, there is a bit of a dull glow. And you can start to see some things like crystals that are giving off some type of like bioluminescence on the walls, creating kind of an eerie, many of them are kind of like a vibrant green. Some of them also kind of brilliant yellows, but there's this kind of green and gold light that is being cascaded around the chamber in different places. And it's a very wide open cavern. You can see on other sides of it, there are sections of this cavern where it goes down very deep. You can see just pits that seem to open up and travel maybe all the way to the Underdark. Above you, it's a high vaulted ceiling with various of these crystals kind of moving about it. There are stalactites, stalagmites sticking up from kind of various directions. And then there is something of a kind of a narrow, curved, winding path leading to a little section of rock at the end, and it looks altar-like. Maybe it is the kind of like the majesty of this kind of natural cave here that made it where this pot of gold appeared. But you see it. You can see now the pot of gold resting in between three kind of pillars of rock that kind of stick out and are resting upon it. A obsidian black pot overladen with brilliant gleaming gold.
I shoot it.
There it is.
Okay.
And kind of lounging on the ground in front of it, you can see You can see Ivory, who's just kind of laying on his side, hand resting on his chin, just kind of laying on the bare rock face. Just so, here we are. It's down to this. No more tricks up my sleeve, unfortunately.
I don't believe you. You're a liar.
That's true.
Imposter!
I mean, I'm not an imposter. I am Ivory. No two ways about that. But I don't believe that you will be making your way there. And he puts up a force cage.
Oh, no.
Around the pot.
Oh, that's...
Oh, I thought it was around.
Okay. Oh, no. That's terrible.
So, how are all of you? I would really rather not deal any damage to any of you, but we here once again find ourselves at something of an impasse. And if you want this gold, you will have to go through me. And as I've told you before, and I've shown you before, going through me is not necessarily the most pleasant path. So, what will it be?
I
I have a
challenge
plan.
you to a chair-making contest.
And he looks over at you and he goes, a chair-making contest.
Yes!
He looks kind of from his eyes just kind of turn as he kind of stands himself upright from Sunny, and then he just looks at each one of you in turn with like a raised eyebrow and a kind of a questioned look.
The winner gets your pot of gold!
Why, for one, why would I wager my pot of gold for no reason?
Oh, but...
I enjoy a
Don't you-
wager.
Uh-huh.
So you're going to have to offer me something of equal value.
Okay. I offer you chairs! Unlimited chairs! All the chairs you would want ever! All of them!
All right, does anyone else have an offer? And he goes, all right, well, that's fine. And he begins kind of stepping forward along this path, kind of walking towards the four of you. And he goes, unlimited shares is the best thing that you have to wager against me for my pot of gold. That's fine. It will be gone in a moment anyway.
But you know, chairs are last. You know, chairs are worth money. You know, they're worth something.
To be fair, he has said unlimited shares, which means, technically speaking, it's worth more than your pot of gold because it's an unlimited commodity.
That is an interesting idea. But unlimited dirt is still dirt, and unlimited chairs is just chairs. Also,
Unlimited dirt is called land and real estate.
Yes, and unlimited chairs is called great firewood. You'll make lots of money by selling firewood.
Which also means infinite energy from burning it.
Othgarurt is going to lean in towards Sunny and whisper to him.
How confident are you he cannot cheat this?
I'm not, but I'm not gonna plan on being fair either.
So, tell me the rules of the game as we're moving forward. You don't have long now, so you best...
We need to make a chair. The
The goal
first
is
person to make 10 chairs wins.
First person to make 10 chairs.
Yep.
He kind of thinks for a while. He goes, I mean, obviously you can make a quick chair if you think that you can. If you think that you can overcome me on this particular debate. And how will you give me this chair? How will I receive these infinite chairs? In what form? I'd like to know a little bit more about this prize.
Oh, well, I just make you chairs.
How?
Just by making them. Don't
So
worry
that's not-
about it.
So that's not infinite. The chairs
Yes, it is.
The chairs end with your life.
No, they don't.
How?
Because you forget. Whenever I die, I come back. I'm a flower. Flowers do that.
So you're telling me if I beat you in this game, that you'll make infinite chairs with me, for me, at my behest,
Yeah.
for eternity?
Yep.
And he kind of thinks for a time.
Erie, I've got something for you. I spent an entire year looking for this artifact.
And he goes, I'm starting to get interested in these chairs, though. But please, show me what you have.
I pull out the idol of the golden god. It's a golden dwarf.
So, is it? It's almost like I didn't. It's almost like I knew that was what it was going to be. And Irony kind of looks at me and goes, "That looks like a golden dwarf penis."
Yes, they're very rare and valuable. More than your entire pot of gold. I swear.
And
they hold much more power beyond that of any material.
All right. Well, in that case, I'm going to go for the infinite chairs, the chairs for eternity. But we'll worry about the rest of that later. Shall we shake upon it? First one to create. Well, any kind of thing.
Yes.
So, first one to create. How many chairs was it? 10 chairs, you said?
10 chairs, yeah, 10. Do you want to make it 100? I like 100. 100's a good number.
And he goes, no, I don't want to make it 100.
I'll make it 100 chairs. First person to make 100 chairs. Deal's changed.
And he looks at you and he goes, deal's off. And you look
shame.
back. You look back at the pot behind him, and it is starting to fade, as you saw it fade 1 year ago, as the day was wearing on.
Okay.
How's this?
Sunny trying to negotiate changing terms. Othgarurt will do something he does not do very often, and will try to sneak by to continue down the path.
All right. Go ahead and make me a stealth check.
How's this?
Yeah, will cast pass without a trade.
Okay.
Yuri, rock, paper, scissors, right now. You and me.
Yes, rock, paper, scissors challenge.
One gay.
So here we stand again. I won't deny that somehow I knew that this is where we'd end up. And you're moving past Irie. And at the moment, he doesn't seem to notice you yet. You take a couple of steps around the outside of the room, waiting till his gaze kind of fixed over. Like as soon as Farzu goes, you and me, rock, paper, scissors.
While they're talking about chairs, I guess they could have gone.
Yes.
And that's a 28 with pass without a trace. So you kind of begin to slink along the side of the wall as the shadows kind of reach up to help you. And as you begin walking forward, Othgarurt, you are about... This whole cavern is maybe 100 foot in radius. You get about 50 feet away from... you get about 50 feet away from the pot. And you are at this point undetected.
I will... kind of surprised it actually worked. But I will continue the cautious enough to remain stealthy approach towards the pot while poking my halberd on the ground to make sure that the places I'm moving towards are actually solid ground.
That is a good idea. Go ahead and make me a perception check as you're kind of 10-foot pulling this thing out. Also, I need you to make me... This is another round of stealth. I need you to make it for me with disadvantage because you're poking the ground with a halberd while you're doing it.
Sorry. Just getting that set up.
Perception check. 11?
Yes.
As you're walking and you begin to step forward, you take out your halberd and begin to kind of poke along at the ground. And for just a moment, you think, maybe there is something off about this a bit. The weight, the heft of your halberd feels a bit off. And you don't realize it soon enough as you take your next step forward and begin to fall upwards towards the ceiling. and it seems that you've walked into a field of reverse gravity. I would like you all to roll for initiative.
Ooh!
Othgarurt, you step forward and you realize now your halberd, it was just weighted opposite. It was weighted upwards, like pulling at you. And your body begins to kind of twist and tumble in a strange way as you start to spin, because you just lightly stepped into the edge of this thing. So you start to like kind of move and tumble upwards. Right now, your stealth has not been given away, but it certainly will be when you crash into the ceiling up above. Currently, you are tumbling and falling upwards towards the ceiling. But I'm going to give you a surprise round, in a sense. Also, I'm actually going to give all of you a surprise round, as Irie doesn't know what's going on. You guys have been just kind of like, Othgarurt's like creeping forward, and then you guys all start to see Othgarurt just fall upwards in this like terrible twisting spin. Irie,
Like, my eyes go wide, and I'm like, no!
And he goes, 1 game, rock, paper, scissors. And he's putting it out. And fine. For the golden dwarf penis. As he's putting his hand forward, you see it crackling with energy. But Othgarurt is falling up. What would you all like to do in this, the surprise round, Elysia?
Okay. I would like... Elysia first.
Yep.
I will start this out, twin spelling haste on myself and
You and Farzu haste.
me and Farzu haste.
Okay.
And then I will go sprinting in sort of an arc around Irie towards the back. The same path I saw Othgarurt running.
So you're just gonna take off without pretense now?
Yep. Bullshit.
Irie kind of like pulls his hand back and sees you moving as you do this. He's still surprised, but you see his eyes kind of turn and see Othgarurt cascading towards the ceiling. And that's going to bring us to the next initiative, which is... Sunny, what do you want to do?
I'm not a big fan of you. You're a big but... So...
And then I will, try to smash him with the oil.
Alright, make an attack roll.
Yes! Yes! Does that hit?
The classic. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see it. 18
Yeah.
exactly hits.
Yes, he gets hit with
Exact
oil.
number that you need. As you toss the oil forward, it splatters over his clothes, and he goes, "Oh, not this again!" And he's covered in oil. That's your action. Do you have a bonus action or anything?
Not at the moment. So I'll end my turn.
Alright, that's going to bring us next in initiative to Farzu, I believe.
Alright, I'll use my hasted action to cover my hand in oil as well!
Your hand, you smash a bottle over your hand. You take no glass damage, but you do take oil. You have oil on your hand.
Alright, and I will pull the dirtiest trick in the book. 3, 2, 1, shoot! And I light my hands on fire so he can't see the results of my roll.
Oh god, great. Perfect.
He stopped playing rock, paper, scissors with you, but do you do this anyway?
I thought he wanted to still do offer.
He was about to, and then he saw Othgarurt running at the pot. So now he seems like he's more interested in that than playing rock, paper, scissors.
But the hand was still out, wasn't he?
Loses. Yeah, I grab a hold of his hand, shake it, and then I instantly say,
Yes.
rock, paper, scissors, shoot! And light my hands on fire.
Go ahead and make me a sleight of hand check.
Do you pick scissors or paper? Or what do you pick? I don't know.
That's the thing. With my hands lit on fire, he can't see the result, so I will change it once he goes as well.
Make a sleight of hand check to see if you're able to grab his hand to create this Feywild binding contract. before he can like stop holding his hand out for it.
Yeah!
It's contested. Oh shit!
Yes!
Good. You grab onto his hands. Are your hands now on fire?
Yes.
Okay.
I use my action to light them on fire, and my hasted action to oil.
Hold on, that would light him on fire too.
All right. Well, he's now agreed to a game of an arcane game of rock paper scissors with you, which he cannot get out of.
And he's on fire.
Do you bonus action?
Can I bonus action rock paper scissors? It's like seeing the result of it.
You initiate rock paper scissors, but because it's like a contested thing, he gets to do shit too.
All right.
He gets to also rock paper scissors. So you can say that you're getting ready to rock paper scissors. What do you scissors? Right? Is the plan? Or, I'm sorry. Was it? It was scissors because he would have to do paper.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah,
but
no,
no. He's changing it. Now he's changing it probably to paper. So then, because he's probably going to do rock.
His hands are on fire, so he's the one.
No, my hands are on fire.
Farzu, your hands are on fire.
So is his. His whole body's on fire because I hit him with oil.
Well, you haven't.
Yeah, but
hit him
I'm
with oil. You
resistant.
haven't hit him with fire yet.
Well, he just touched him with fire. Does that count?
That was my action. Yeah.
I'll allow it. Yeah, sure. He lights on fire. He goes up in an incredible blaze. You've shaken hands and created a fey bargain. It's a rad deal. We move next in initiative to Othgarurt. You're going to hit the ceiling, and that's going to be rough for you. What would you like to do?
Is there a way that Othgarurt could swing one of the heavy objects he carries around, like his smithing tools or his halberd or the forge hammer, to rebalance himself so that he'll land on the ceiling with his feet and not his face?
You're spinning currently, so I think that that's actually reasonable to try and adjust yourself. You're still going to take a hefty amount of fall damage, but basically you're saying is you want to try and acrobatics to maybe reduce it a little bit.
Yes.
This is going to be... I'll let you say that this is athletics.
And because he realizes this is all falling apart, and what an impact this is going to make, Othgarurt enters a rage, not just intentionally, but also because he's pissed off that this is falling apart.
Yeah, fair enough. You go into a furious barbarian rage. Go ahead and make me an athletics check with advantage. Not a low DC, mind you, to try and pull this thing off. But 27 is high enough to meet the DC. Jesus Christ! And so as you fall, you are going to take 38 points of bludgeoning damage. That is halved to instead 19 points of bludgeoning damage, which is then again halved to 9 points of bludgeoning damage. As you crash into the ceiling, the rock above you kind of cracks and breaks in places, and you now find yourself kind of righted on your 2 feet, but facing the world below in a strange direction. And you see that Irie, like previously, he was basically walking in this reverse gravity, so he must be concentrating on more than one thing right now in order to walk straight up. You kind of have that realization as you're looking down and seeing, like, yeah, he should have been in this before himself too. Is that all for your turn?
If I have,
actually, I'm sorry. That just happens at the start of your turn. You have an action still.
Oh, do I have any movement left?
Movement, I don't know that you do.
Then I will dash.
Yep.
And I will run towards the pot and try to do a running leap in order to reach towards it.
Keep in mind that you just fell 100 feet up. So
fair point.
Yeah.
Probably won't be able to running leap, but I can still...
But you could move yourself onto the ceiling above where the pot is if you want. Like, if things broke down, you would be landing on top of the force cage.
Sounds good.
Okay, yeah, so you do that. You move yourself into the middle of the chamber. As we move to the top of the initiative, It is now truly initiative, which means that the first to act is going to be, I believe, the same. I believe it's still you, Elysia. What would you like to do?
Elysia will continue to use her haste speed, but before that, seeing Othgarurt fall up, knowing gravity could be weird, I'll use my primary action to activate my
Alright, you're going to begin to fly.
and I'll fly my 120 feet directly towards the pond.
Alright, you reach kind of the center of it, and you get stuck at this force cage that is on the, kind of outside of it, protecting this thing. But you are at the edge. The gold is but a hand's reach away. You kind of are like flitting through the invisible bars. They're just kind of like semi-translucent of this force cage. You're trying to like reach into the gold, but it's outside of your grasp at the moment.
And it is a flat one, not a bars cage, right?
It is. It's kind of almost like a dome with tightly woven bars.
Okay.
But it's not square. It's bars, and it has openings in it. Like I said, you can reach your hand through, but your arm is about the largest thing that you could fit through. Is that your turn? Is that dash, or is that just regular movement?
That was action to activate, hasted action to dash 120.
Okay. Oh yes, of course. So you because you have double speed. Oh my god. You're so fast. All right, yeah. And as you're flying, you, at one point, I imagine you do like a cool thing where you hit reverse gravity, and you have to now fly upside down, and it looks righteous as you're kind of hanging upside down, holding on to the force cage. Is there anything else on your turn? I guess you still have a move action if you have anything else, but.
Right. Bonus action. I get out Monty.
All right. Monty is ready. We move next in initiative to Sunny. What would you like to do, Sunny?
So who was the one that took the most damage right now?
Othgarurt, I think, took 8, which isn't that bad.
I thought somebody took 38. No?
That was double halved.
Oh, okay. Well, good, because Othgarurt is probably going to be healed by now. By 12.
You gain... What is the range on that is 60 feet. He's actually 100 feet up on the ceiling. So you'd have to be able to get up to him a little bit more to do that.
Is it? Hold on. I thought it was...
I thought that's what that 60 meant underneath your...
Yeah, it is 60. Yeah. You're right. Okay, so I guess I can't do that. All right, never mind. Scratch that bit. Let's go with a good old thorn whip on this guy. Oh, and I miss.
Yeah, unfortunately, critical fail misses. You go and try and whip your whip of thorns around him, and Irie kind of like knocks it aside with the small kind of black cane that he holds and looks at you.
Oh, wait. You know what? I forget what the password was. No, I forget what the password is, right? But don't I have... But it wasn't there a... you had given out a...
if you don't have
an inspiration a while back.
If you don't have the password,
it's Google Loogle or something. Frugal Doogle.
That was from, I believe, the previous Halloween.
Yes, I haven't done anything with it.
And as I said, it expired at the end of the year.
So darn!
That password.
Darn it!
So that's a crit fail. Unfortunately, he catches the thorn whip around with his shillelagh and kind of bats it aside and looks at you. All out more then, fine. That's going to...
He's still on fire, by the way.
Yeah, he's still on fire, but he is going to whip around, and he goes to, like, use a legend... You can tell he has legendary actions, and he wants to use one on Farzu, but something about this bond is preventing him right now. This, like, magical force that's in his hand is preventing him from doing anything but playing you in rock, paper, scissors. As it passes now, it is both of your turns. Both of you had a 14, which is very fitting, I think, in this moment. You tell me what your strategy is.
You never expected Othgarurt to sneak past you, huh?
can't say that I did, but this is why we have protections in place. And he points to Othgarurt up on the ceiling. Are we going to do this thing or what?
I'm gonna start counting down.
All right. You guys kind of face down, and he goes, rock, paper, scissors, and he's gonna have to once again bust out his time stop in not a great spot. Woof. So, you tap your hands. You tap your hands 2 times, and then as you're about to do the third one, as you do the third one, and you're about to throw forward your thing, the world kind of stops and freezes around you, and you don't perceive this, but the world phases out. What were you gonna throw?
I was going to do my plan I said earlier, but I think it was like because I wanted to do it when we threw the hands, but I wanted to light my hands on fire.
Which he said he already did, so he couldn't see what he was gonna. That was the concept.
Okay. So your hands are currently on fire. You did that last time. By the way, you take 1 point of fire damage, as does Irie for being on fire. Actually, I think it's a D4 you take for being on fire.
I thought it was 5. You just take 5 fire damage.
Oh, is that? It's just 5 flat? Alright, you take 5 flat fire damage, as does Irie.
Yes, yeah.
Right. No one would know the rules of oil better than you.
Too. I'm fire resistant, my boy.
He's not, actually. So he's going to take those 5 points of fire damage. Additionally, what's your plan as you go into this? You have been at this point before where he's about to stop time and prevent you from kind of making this wager. Or not wagering from the wager, just basically cheat in such a way that it's pretty much impossible to out-cheat.
Yeah, I was going to cheat as well. Either disguising my hand somehow or increasing the like brightness of the.
Okay. In that case, you're going to try and like increase the brightness of the fire on your hands. Is that your plan?
Yeah,
like further obscure.
Yes.
All right.
It's just a complete like fireball in the middle of my hand.
Righteous. So, this kind of guided thing where he would be unable to see, he finishes and time stops, and he has 5 turns to do stuff, so let me decide what it is he's going to do in this instant. Alright. He is going to...
I like it. We're making you pause.
Yeah, well, he's got a lot of things he can do with 5 whole turns. He has 5 turns of actions, unlimited by not being able to do damage. So, by the way, which one did you throw out?
I thought this was gonna make it fair, but scissors.
Alright, as you kind of come back, you can see the following things happen. Elysia, I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw. Sunny, I need you to make me a constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Your hand has gone out, and you can feel that it's now covered in water. Irie has been put out, and you can also see now that there's like a kind of like a shield of what looks like kind of ice radiating around him that's like quenching these flames. And there are 4 of him. Elysia, you actually an 18 just barely fails. So you're going to take full damage from this lightning bolt.
I imagine each one of hims are throwing a different pair of rock, paper, scissors.
And Sunny, you also fail, you take the full brunt of this cone of cold that he blasts over you, intentionally seeming to avoid you Farzu, where he's focused on the game of rock, paper, scissors. But as it comes down to it, you see he's put out your hand to gain the ability to see through it. And as he stands before you, he looks like exhausted and sweaty, and that was like, I mean, that's most of his kit that he just used, but he holds the rock, unless you have some reaction that you can do here. I don't know if you have any kind of play for this, but he's able to see you and get you in front of it. So,
aha!
And as you say, aha, you're holding up scissors, and you just see he's just there with the rock.
I chopped my hand off!
And Irie, are you going to chop your hand off? I took that phrase seriously when you said it. So if you wish to do that, you'll have it back next session, but not again today.
Yep.
Do you chop your hand up?
All right.
You choose paper. He chooses paper.
Pete, I have this special item called the Blessing of Eternity. In my hand was a fake hand all along, and I put my real hand back on. No, I'm just kidding.
You're pushing it now.
Yeah.
So are you actually chopping off your hand though?
Yeah, sure, I'll chop.
Okay, yeah. Your blade kind of comes up, and in a move that Irie assumed was a stab at him, you cut your hand off. It falls down to the ground. It was shaped in kind of a scissors shape, but it just kind of crumbles into nothing. No particular hand sign. As you finish, you're holding up nothing, and Irie's holding up rock. And he looks at you, and he goes, "The only way to win is not to play." Well met. I have to say, I'm flabbergasted by your conviction. And you just watch as the signs on both of your hands kind of dissipate, and Irie goes, "I guess you get to keep your dwarf penis. Congratulations."
Yes, but that means we also get your gold.
Nope. And
Yay!
that's going to be both of your turns of initiative.
But that's what you promised, you liar, you're a liar.
He's not. As we move next initiative to, not on that case at least. Othgarurt, what would you like to do? You're on the ceiling.
I am on the ceiling. I have a little bit of rage left, and I have a really stupid idea. Granted, there's some competition for that one tonight, but let's see if I can actually get away with this.
He needs to make a concentration check, by the way, because he did take fire damage. He's still holding on to concentration. So, Othgarurt, what do you want to do?
How loose is the definition of the term ground? I'm upside down in a cave. Is there a wall nearby?
You're on ground. It's just upside down ground. It's just ceiling.
Okay. And is there a wall nearby? And by that definition, could part of the wall also be ground?
Yeah, unworked earth or stone, I believe is the term, right?
Yes.
This is the cavern that you're in is unworked earth or stone.
Othgarurt will concentrate for a moment and seem to command through his armor some daggers to suddenly appear out of the wall that he can start to use as handholds.
That is not the move that I thought you were about to use, but I absolutely love it. All right.
Not in a position where I can use the other move yet.
Okay. Yeah, I can't remember the exact stipulation on that one. You create a garden of marrow. You watch as... so are you going to basically run along the ceiling until you would get out of the gravity? Is that your plan? So right now you're on the ceiling and you're able to walk on it freely. Where do you want this garden of marrow to appear?
I am hoping to put it on the nearest wall that I'm hoping to approach a wall and conjure forth Jagger's grip first out of the nearby wall that I can get to start trying to climb down, but as if I was climbing up because of the reverse gravity to get closer towards.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, so you're closer to the back wall, so it's along the back wall that you're able to do this, because the cavern kind of favors a little bit further. The pot of gold is not like in the dead center, it's a little bit offset towards the back. So you begin doing this along the far wall, and you're able to get 30 feet down as you guys see Othgarurt's legs dangling behind him. I'm not even going to make you roll for... Actually, you have to make an athletics check. This is not an easy thing to do.
Like I said, I thankfully still have a little bit of rage left.
Add advantage. 24. Yeah, not a problem. You are hand over handing onto these daggers, these bone-like spears and weapons that just erupt out of the cave's edge, and you are hanging with your legs dangling up the air as you're upside down on the cliffside, climbing down it. It's a strange situation. Is there anything else on your turn?
Actually, yes. Can I kick one of the daggers that I'm not using for leverage to try and cut myself on it?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give it to you. You basically are attempting to just maintain your rage, and so you intentionally just kind of force yourself into one of them. You take you take 2 points of points of slashing damage, and your rage maintains.
Perfect.
If you had rolled a 1, you wouldn't have felt anything, and your rage would have gone. That's interesting. Your rage would have prevented you from continuing to rage. This is philosophy at its finest. We move, I believe, to the top of the initiative. The game of rock, paper, scissors before you is finished, and Irie looks unhappy, all things considered, but also he's weirdly taxed on spell slots this early into the fight. We move next into the initiative, which was Elysia. You are first. Elysia, did you roll concentration on that haste?
Yes, 17.
Alright, you held it. What do you want to do?
Farzu, I do hope you have some kind of dispelling magic or something. So there's definitely no way to, like, get through this force cage, like, traditionally. It's not... I don't quite remember what my question, or the answer to my last question. This isn't the bars kind of force cage I can try to stick a hand through, right?
No, this is the 7th level spell force cage, which is just...
No, but is it the size? Can you stick the hands through the bars, or is it the really tight one where there's no like openings?
It's 20 feet around, and the bars are half-inch in diameter and spaced half an inch apart. This
Excellent.
is the best you can do.
Farzu, I am sorry, but we're about to be stopped. I spend my last 3 charges to cast Gaseous Form.
Oh, shit.
Oh god, yes!
You and... Who are you casting Gash? Oh, you have to use yourself, right?
I'm casting it on myself.
Yeah.
You can twin spell it. Oh yeah, it's just or touch.
So you become stunned. You are now a mist hovering outside of this... hovering outside of this cage, right near where the gold is. You are on the precipice of getting through and flying into this force cage. And at the...
Actually, can I shift one order of actions before I finish my turn?
Yes.
I'll use my heckin' speed to get on the other side of the cage and pop from Irie, and bonus or hasted action.
That's good. Also, that way the obscured vision on you prevents him from casting Counterspell, which I forgot to do, which I should have done originally. I was like, there's a reason he has that spell, but now he can't see you, so it's good.
There we go. Oh, very good.
And then you find yourself exhausted as you are effectively stunned outside of this. And that's going to bring us next in initiative to Sunny. What do you want to do, Sunny?
I will drink my potion of greater healing. How much does that heal for again?
Potion of greater is 4d4 plus 4.
Yep.
Roll it up. That's bonus action. You still have an action once you're done with that.
10. Okay. So I'm not completely
sorry,
dead. Oh, 11. Whatever.
No, you roll. It's 10. So, I don't know why I was doing it anyway. Players always roll those. You regain 10 points of health, and you still have an action. What do you want to do with it?
Okay. I think I'm going to cast a spell on Irene.
All right.
Seeing, or actually, no, I'm not going to cast it. Surprisingly, I am going to use my.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you're making an attack roll?
Yeah, I will. Hold on.
A 9 unfortunately misses. As you go
That's the first one. Hold on. I get a second one.
You get 2 attacks?
Yeah, I do.
Why?
Because.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I rarely see you do the pack weapon thing, so because you're always just fucking hitting people with sunshine.
Yes, most of the time.
A 12, you kind of fire out, but unfortunately that is not able to connect as he knocks the arrows aside again and looks for you. You'll have to do better than that, friend. And anything else on your turn?
No, that's it for now.
All right, we move next to Farzu. What do you want to do, Farzu? You're eye to eye with the leprechaun. You're missing a hand. That's not a great situation for you. You probably should have taken damage about from it, but I didn't think of that, so you don't. You're just
why do you have to make me think? Speed! Also, I'm stunned, so I can't do anything.
Oh, that's true. In that case, it's going to be on to Irie's turn, who is going to look over at... he's going to step just away from you and begin kind of sprinting over towards where Elysia is. And he's going to look at you, Elysia, and he's going to break out a big gun. He's going to hit you with a power word stun.
No! Oh my god.
You are stunned, Elysia, until you can succeed on a Constitution saving throw at the end of your turn. And that's his turn. That's all he's got. And he goes, I need you to wait right there for a moment while I figure this out. As he's looking at you as mist, and you can see, like, through the stun and through the haze of your haste, you can see he's, like, just looking at the force cage, looking at you, and being like, the math does not add up well here. The sun creeps ever onward in the sky. You cannot see it from where you are, but you know that you probably don't have a lot of time left, Elysia. You can see that the pot over in front of you is beginning to flicker. We move next in initiative to Othgarurt. What do you want to do, Othgarurt? You're climbing down the ceiling.
Didn't he just move within 60 feet of Elysia?
Yes.
Which puts him around 60 to 70 feet of me?
Yeah, I think that's fair. Also, you are noticing now, his beard is... He's facing the right way. His beard is definitely trending upwards with this gravity. Go ahead. What do you want to do with Othgarurt?
Is further climbing downwards an action?
You can. I would consider a move. I mean, you climb at half speed.
Okay. 20 feet. Very well. I will climb as far. Or Othgarurt will climb as far down as he can, and then holding on to just one dagger to keep himself in position so he can have a hand free, he's going to start drawing javelins.
Go ahead and make me an attack roll. I love it. I think this is a disadvantage javelin throw because it's at max range, and also you're hanging sideways. Like, you have disadvantage for quite a few reasons right now, Othgarurt.
And I don't think rage cancels it out because this is not melee.
Go ahead and toss. Oh my god, you still hit. With disadvantage, you can't even shield it. And that one's gonna miss. Go ahead and roll damage on the first one. Oh shit.
Stick with what you know, yes. I know my bone work well.
And Othgarurt, as you kind of say, I know my bone work well, and the javelin flies out. It pierces kind of right into, right into Irie's gut, and he just, as he's like very focused on Elysia right now, and he looks up at you, and then I need you to make me a strength saving throw.
Oh no. I think he has advantage on this, right? Yeah.
He does. And as all of a sudden, the dagger that you're hand-holding onto, you find yourself having to hold onto it in the other direction as his concentration drops on the on the reverse gravity that's kind of holding down this chamber, and you are freed from its thrall. Elysia, you also are freed. All of you are able to move. Mm-hmm. You also watch as he kind of has a moment of like staggering, where the fly spell that he was using also dissipates. That's all for your turn, I assume, Othgarurt.
Wait, does that mean the force cage has gone down?
The force cage does not require concentration, unfortunately.
Is there solid floor beneath where I am hanging currently?
There is. Do you want to let yourself fall? You can choose to do that. All right. You're going to take 12 points of bludgeoning damage as you crash down into the floor. Is it 3-point hero landing?
You know it.
All right. As we move next into initiative, which is going to be the top. Elysia, you are currently stunned.
I am no longer stunned.
You were stunned from haste, but now you are stunned by the spell Power Word Stun.
Right, but I just succeeded on my saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's at the end of your turn, you're saying?
Right, because I'm stunned.
Okay, I thought you were saying you weren't stunned at the start of your turn. Okay, yeah, so the stun ends, and Irie's like, that's all for your turn. We move to Sunny. What do you want to do, Sunny?
Okay, so how far is the pot of gold?
From you could, it is 100 feet away, because you're still right near the entrance. You haven't moved from the beginning.
Okay, and how far is everybody else?
Othgarurt is like 150 feet away on the other side. Elysia is like 110 feet on the opposite side of the force cage. Farzu's right over next to you, also reeling from the recent stun of the haste, but about to come back. Both of you guys are still at the beginning here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Irie is next to Elysia.
Time to smash and grab. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Dash straight for the pot of gold.
Running for the force cage.
Yeah.
Go ahead and... what's your movement speed? You just move speed.
30. So it's 60.
So you run 60 feet. You're 40 feet away. We move next to... actually, at the end of your turn, legendary action. He is going to just try and smack you. You're a haze. I don't know how this works. You take like half damage.
Let me pop it up again. It's at least...
By the way, I did have a bonus action. You kind of cut me off, but it's all...
Oh, yeah, go ahead and do that.
Who seems like they've taken the most damage?
Othgarurt, but Elysia has also taken a pretty... Actually, Elysia, in the mist form.
I'm ever so terribly
before they became a mist.
Okay, so it would probably be Elysia. Can I still target them in mist form? I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Elysia heals.
You gain 13 points of healing, which is good for you, Elysia, as you take 17 points of magical bludgeoning damage from the shillelagh. Are you still
Isn't that cut in half on mist form?
It actually is.
Oh no, it's magical.
It actually specifies. I actually thought it was going to be, but it is actually specifies if it's magical. It doesn't.
Oh no, I'm no longer mist.
Oh shit, that's concentration. Elysia, you are no longer a mist. You're also not stunned, but you're no longer...
Technically, when they're stunned, they're incapacitated, so they can't concentrate on spells.
Well, here we are. Here we are. So, that's going to bring us next in initiative. Irie kind of breathes a momentary sigh of relief, and then that is going to bring us to... was Farzu. Farzu, what do you want to do?
Right, well, it's all gone to shit. So it's just time to smash and grab, get going, get the goal. I'm gonna use my action to dash over and bonus action dash, so I'm at the goal.
Alright, you get up to the force cage.
I guess I'll start scooping it out. It's just not even their action, and I'll
You have
do
to
it
get
later.
you have to get through the force cage to get to the gold. That's why the whole dash is for.
So there's
That's your last obstacle here.
yeah, okay, and my turn.
All right.
I'm
so
gonna throw my hands into the cage.
Oh shit.
Oh, so am I.
That's your last kind of ditch action here. Irie kind of looks over at you and kind of pulls a small like pipe. Pulls a small pipe from his kind of bag and looks to you, Sunny, and just goes dance as he casts an Otto's irresistible dance upon you. You begin to dance and kind of take up with the jig, the music that you hear around you. It's conjured into the space as he uses one of his. I think I would call this his signature move in a lot of ways.
Okay.
I guess that and time stop. As you find yourself being forced to dance, it basically reduces your movement to nothing. And he's going to step away from you, Elysia, provoking an attack of opportunity. If you would like to make one.
I shall indeed make one.
Swing away. 16. And then he's going to move over next to you, Farzu. 16 is, unfortunately not going to hit. As he moves next to you, Farzu, and he's now just kind of standing to your side.
Hello, Irie.
Wants to hang out
How's
with
the
you, it
weather?
seems like.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a nice, cordial chat with him. Like, how have you been doing?
Had better days, but...
Do you have any found?
well, there'll be time to talk about all of that later.
No, we
Once
should
I'm
talk about it.
rolling in the piles of my gold that I will continue to possess beyond this day. And, Othgarurt, the turn is yours. What do you want to do?
I've got one last idea. I think it's dumb enough to work. Othgarurt staggers from his landing and, not dashing, but as fast as he normally can, rushes up to the force cage. Can he make it there without dashing?
Yeah, because you're on the back wall, so yes.
Okay.
Pulled from the bag of Bartholomew, a legendary instrument forged in the finest of metals.
Othgarurt draws the Excaliburs and tries to reach them through the bars of the force cage to grab the pot with the
Oh God!
Excaliburs.
Yes.
What is the rule of the Excaliburs again?
They give a +3 bonus to any check that could be argued that you would require a task requiring intricate or precise detail, such as fixing a clockwork device, picking a lock, sewing a window, etc.
Or
But
reaching
they
a
are
little
also-
claw in and getting a good piece of gold out of a pot.
They are also calipers, so I figure they could do that.
I think that is within. I need you to make me a check with your Excaliburs. This is going to be. I think this is a dexterity sleight of hand check to which you can add the Excaliburs bonus or whatever. How do they work?
It's basically a universal rules lawyery +3 bonus to certain checks, but I'm trying to use them in a very different way than that.
Okay, no, that I think is exactly the intended use of Excaliburs. That's going to be a sleight of hand check +3. Against, unless you have a different way you want to argue it, against Irie's. I would also let you make a Smith's Tools check if you wanted to do that.
I think I could go with that instead.
And you'll get a +3 to it for just this bonus. You're contesting Irie's DC.
I'm still raged. It's Smith's Tools. It's a strength check.
Oh God! Yeah.
I don't know if this particular application of Smith's Tools
Yeah.
is strength. I think this is a dex, but you can add your proficiency.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Oh gee.
Unfortunately, you try and reach through, but you're unable to ply one of the pieces of gold out with the Excaliburs. We move to the top of the initiative, which is you, Elysia. What would you like to do?
Elysia will once again, now that she's not in melee, slide on about the cage to get it between her and Irie to hide. And once she's there, Elysia is going to cast Polymorph on herself, turning into a very tiny spider, and just go through the tight bars and drop down on a piece of spider silk.
Oh, I forgot I had a familiar.
You take a moment, and you become the spider, and you begin to kind of climb through the bars. You move up the side of the pot of gold, and you slowly descend into it in your spidered form. And one of your kind of long spider tendrils reaches up and rests a hand on one of the golden coins in the pot. And
Yes.
Irie doesn't seem to have realized anything at this point, that you've even cast a spell or that you're climbing into his gold as a spider. But the first one of your legs touches one of the gold coins, you see Irie's head just wheel around in absolute panic as he looks and he goes, "No! No!" And you see the gold in the pot. It begins to like bubble outwards. A couple of the coins begin to scatter, and Irie just goes, "No!" and then blinks out of reality. Irie just disappears in this moment, as does his magic. His force cage is gone. It's just this one kind of pot that's here kind of bubbling and roiling over. And as it does so, the gold coins begin kind of shooting out like missiles. One of them strikes you in spider form, Elysia, and you just explode as you return into Elysia form. As the gold kind of cascades and shatters about the cave, the green and kind of gold light from the bioluminescent crystals kind of casting incredible and brilliant sparkles as the gold flies out, seeming to come to no end. You guys pick up the gold, and Othgarurt, even with your strength, you go to grab a handful, and the heft of it, you can barely even pick it up. And it just continues to flow and flow as it rains down over the cavern. It's striking into you, filling it up and creating just space over the floor. As it does so, the room just begins to become just a cavern of gold. And as the pot kind of finishes, the coins kind of flying out, each one of the coins emblazoned with a 4-leaf clover and the face of the now banished leprechaun Irie. You look now like you stand on the inside of a dragon's den. You look like each of you is perhaps a Scrooge McDuck. And you hear Bartholomew kind of speak up to you. "Well, night has fallen. It must have shaken out one of two ways. And just leave it away."
I grab my hand as it falls from being exploded by the pot of gold and just like, ugh. Dang it, I messed up the plan. I must be going senile. I cut
It's
my
okay.
hand off.
There's always next time. We'll get it then.
Well, Bartholomew, I am unfortunately sorry to inform you. But we've got the gold!
And with that, you hear Bartholomew give an uncharacteristic as he gets very kind of, this is the first time you've maybe ever seen him truly excited. Happy for victory in the past, but a real win for him as far as he's concerned. And he goes, "I want to come see it." And he just teleports to the space right there. And he looks at the four of you and he goes, "Well, greetings, adventurers."
I'm gonna make sure it's the real Bartholomew by making this so only he can hear.
He goes, "What are you doing?" as soon as you do that.
Oh, it's the real Bartholomew. Okay.
And, well, heroes, come here. Heroes.
Yes.
Yes, Bartholomew.
He just holds out his arms to like offer you guys a hug.
This is like that Voldemort scene.
Please, this is the happiest day I have lived in a very long time. I love this more than anything in this world. I'm going to take all of this gold and hoard it like a dragon.
Wait, hold on. Let me just make sure you said you love this, right?
Yes.
Those were your words. Okay.
I love it.
Okay, great. Awesome. I have that recorded for all time. Great.
I don't know what that means. But, all right. I owe you money. Take 300 Bartholomew bucks. Yes, I know you get paid 200. I'm just feeling so generous right now. Take 300. Take the full payment. You did myth work today. Heroes, I owe you a debt of gratitude. Would any of you like to shop?
Feeling generous. Can I have some time off?
No. Well, actually, if by time off you mean, can you put this in the hoard? And the answer is, yes, you can. Absolutely.
The life of an intern.
Well, Roger's here too, by the way. Would any of you like to shop? We'll just do it right here.
Yes, actually, I would. Can I have another pull of the bag, Bartholomew?
Absolutely.
I'm not feeling so lucky today, believe it.
Oh, hold on a second. And Bartholomew snaps your hand back onto your wrist.
Oh, I can do that myself.
Oh, never mind then. And he undoes it.
Oh, well, then I just pop it back on again.
Okay. All right. What was that? 842? Was that what I saw?
That is 840.
All right. You reach into the bag. Man, Lance, you've just been having such good luck lately. You find yourself first, your hand passing over something small. It feels like a sticker, and then some type of charm. It seems like neither of them catch your fancy, but cloth interests you. And as you pull it out, you find within a robe. And it is brilliant. It is got a shifting pattern of dazzling hues, much like a rainbow. And Bartholomew speaks of, a fitting one for today in your victory. This is a robe of scintillating colors. It has a number of charges, and you can expend those charges to display dazzling hues from it. And it will shed bright light and give creatures a disadvantage against you. In addition, creatures can be blind or stunned. Oh, geez, they can be stunned by this effect as well. That's very good. I assumed it was going to be blinded. You have a robe of scintillating colors. It's one of the classics.
Oh, it's beautiful. Thank you, Bartholomew.
Of course. Anyone else?
No, I'm good.
Anyone
Oh
else?
my god. I just rolled and it was an awful roll, so I'm not gonna roll.
That's a good idea.
I am just happy that we were able to come through for you today, my friend.
I owe you a debt of gratitude, and if I can ever do any of you a favor that does not require me to break any of the rules or regulations, I'd be happy to do that. But
A hat?
A hat we can do. And what kind of hat do you want?
Any kind of hat. Just a hat.
He gives you a nice pork pie hat.
Yay!
All right, consider our debt squared. If anyone else has anything, let me know. But that concludes this adventure. Thank you for playing in this rematch with Irie. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad we ended up doing it still.
Just a second, Pete. Is that a non-magical pork pie hat?
I think it is a magical pork pie hat that does not proffer any benefits other than being magical.
Well, the pork pie hat that's in the bag gives you a +1 ability to jazz ability checks. Ability checks made to perform jazz.
Then never mind. You get.
Oh
that.
man, why not? That sounds so great. I want to be able to perform jazz.
You can have that jazz pork pie hat. Roger, is this okay? Can we give away a pork pie hat?
Well, I already did it.
Okay.
It's on the books.
I just meant a mundane one originally, but sometimes the world changes. Jeremy, shall we to the outro screen?
But Pete, we're already on the outro screen. Wow, my hair's all whack. Phones off for like a second. Hello, chat. I'm here. I'm a person again. Whew, that was a very interesting one. Old Irie almost got him.
It's always close. It's always close. So we're on the outro screen. Is the stream mad blurry or am I insane?
I don't know. I don't think it's mad blurry.
I refreshed it and everything's good. Oh, I didn't wear a bow tie.
Excuse me. I thought you were taking it a little more casual today.
Nope, I just forgot. I just looked at myself on Twitch and saw that I'm not wearing a bow tie. Hi, I'm Pete, and this is Pete and Jeremy's D&D Time. We're on the outro screen. Thanks for watching, everyone.